Before completing his bachelor's degree with an emphasis in equine studies, Richard attended Essex Agricultural School, which led to 3 summers at Harrowland Hills, the Vermont stable owned by Marilyn and Harold Childs. He credits Harold Childs as his biggest mentor, recalling one statement that stayed with him. Mr. Childs said, "A lazy man makes a good horse," meaning you should take your time and never rush them. Richard's career spans 3 distinct phases, working at the iconic Auckland Farms, running his own public training stable in Florida, and most recently at Taylor River Farm since its inception in 2004. While showing at the Lippet Show, Mrs. Childs encouraged him to thank the judge, Ruth Orcutt, who invited him to visit Auckland Farms. Later, when Richard was graduating from the University of New Hampshire and visiting Auckland on weekends, he was offered a job. "I didn't attend my graduation because we had Mass Morgan in Northampton that weekend," he recalls. At Auckland Farm, roles blended. You were hired as an assistant or groom, but handled everything from daily chores to working horses. Then, when trainer Lyman Orcutt moved on in 1980, Richard transitioned from working horses to showing them. He views the role of a horse trainer as more than just training horses. If they're not feeling well, they can't work. Keeping them physically and mentally sound allows them to give their best, identifying their difficulties, providing excellent care, and helping them succeed at a job they enjoy is a privilege. Shane Darnell underscores Richard's long history and deep knowledge of equine mechanics by stating, "When a horse comes into the barn, he knows what to do based on how he worked with their ancestors years ago. That takes a lifetime to learn." By the mid-'80s, Richard began taking on outside clients and partnered with Larry Bonnell to establish Richard Boule Stables in Brookfield, Massachusetts, where he began working as a public trainer. "I had horses for Bill and Nancy Curtis and their daughter Chrissy, who mentioned they were looking for property. While on vacation, I visited Earlene Kenyon's farm in Florida. When she said she was selling it, I told her I'd love to buy it, but I couldn't afford it. She said, 'Yes, you can,' and made arrangements. We purchased the property, brought in 21 horses, and opened Summerfields Morgans, LLC. Richard has had success in many disciplines, often learning through example, stating, "To this day, when I see a good horseman in any discipline, I watch intently and practice. But the real trick is finding a mentor." In addition to training champions and mentoring horsemen, Richard is known for his intuitive connection with horses. Sarah Gove of Taylor River Farm describes him as 100% a horse psychologist. He sees their inner thoughts, not just their outward behavior. He says, "You need to visualize it. Horses have emotional lives too, but they can't communicate like humans. He sees them as souls, just like we are." When asked what he enjoys most, Richard said, "Pairing people with their horses, even the challenging ones. Helping a difficult horse succeed for its rider excites me. Watching teams grow and thrive is deeply rewarding. I also feel lucky to have kids riding and growing up with me over the years. They've become my Morgan family. Teaching riders is about teaching respect for the horse and the process. That respect applies to all aspects of life as well." AMHA congratulates Richard Boule for receiving the 2024 Professional Horseman Award.